Hey Stefan, how are you doing?
Hi, Mike. I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I didn't put anything on the agenda, but I just want to touch up on the placement decision. So please, if you can, if you can cue me that during the earlier of the meeting, that would be great. Because I have to drop again after
Yeah.
the reorg. I have to I have a meeting at 1 o'clock now. So
All right. Okay.
thank you so much. Are you going to KubeCon next week?
Yep, I am indeed.
Sweet.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going. Gus Parvin, are you familiar with him from the ACM team?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be there.
All right. Okay. Right. I think we might as well get started, even though there aren't many people connected. So welcome everybody to the November 4th SIG Multicluster call. And on the agenda today, we have two scrub items. So Arthur, you're up first with KEP 1645.
Oh yeah, well,
not
I
KEP,
mean,
5588. Yep.
yeah, it's probably going to be quick. I'm just looking for our reviewers, but we are not many in the call, and you approved already. So I guess
Yeah.
that's the end of it.
So a reminder to review. All it takes now is an LGTM from somebody who's a member of Kubernetes and Kubernetes SIGs.
Yeah,
So
I will
nothing much.
mark it in case someone would.
Yeah. So technically, I think even Tom, you could approve these.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So anyway, I'll if it doesn't move by next week, I'll ask Jeremy to take another look.
Okay, thanks. Perfect.
He'll be at KubeCon. And so next, Mike, placement decision API. Do you want to share your screen or?
Yep, I can share my screen. Let me share.
Thanks.
Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. So I updated the CAP once again based on the previous meeting or the meetings 2 weeks ago. Most of it is, first of all, I reorganized the whole CAP. Like I went from top to bottom, reorganize it so that, I feel like it went a little bit out of the CAP template a bit. So I went back and tried to follow the CAP structure, the recommended structure. So that's one of the first big things. And then the other things that I kind of not touch up on and give a more clear explanation, especially to hopefully help reviewers on this, such as Jeremy, to understand is what is the benefit of having this placement decision API. like what is the point of this cap? And the major point that I want to address is, it's about reducing the reducing the integration requirements for consumers, right? So, I added some examples. I added more clear explanation to, okay, if we don't have the placement decision kept, this is what the consumers will have to do in order to get some of these multi-cluster scheduling benefits. But with the placement decision cap, we're lowering the amount of integration that's needed. And then I also went back into the user stories. Again, the user story doesn't really show. One of the feedback was the user story doesn't show what the keys are, like the labels that we talk about, how it correlates with the workload on the ones that are more workload correlated. I went on actually add the labels there, and then on the ones that are workload related, clearly explain how they're used and how the keys are correlate the workload to the decisions. And then another thing that I really address is the kind of like the boundaries of what this cap is about. Like, are we trying to standardize placement? No, we're not. But I expanded the not goals, and I expanded the goals quite a bit as well, to hopefully pinpoint what exactly that we're trying to do within this placement decision cap. So hopefully the scope is more explicit now that I list out even more goals and non-goals. And then there's others stuff like I think someone mentioned this placement decision cap helps bring multiple consumers to reference this single API. And I mentioned that I think I also mentioned that somewhere. Let me just, sorry, because I have to provide more details, it kept it explode up a little bit. But yes, but I did mention in there that, I had there's a clear placement delegation that you can use so that the other consumers can reference it as well. Try to find it. Signature consumer feedback. Yes, I will take a look again to see where did consumer ways. Where did I put that section in? And then finally, it's the restructuring, and then I fix some spellings, and then some grammatic issues and stuff like that. But the key is this is about standardizing the interface. It might not fully decouple the workload from the placement decision, but with the patterns and the recommendation that we have, both scheduler and consumer should be able to understand the workload being placed, but they no longer have to understand each other's proprietary kind of decision APIs. So that's what I'm aiming for in this. That's what we're aiming for in this placement decision cap. So I'm hoping the reviewers and others who are interested to give another crack at it, and then happy to provide additional clarity and more feedback if needed.
Yeah, Thank you very much. So yeah, the focus, scope, and important clarification sections at the start, they help a lot, and that's so people who've been following this maybe and who weren't around, who weren't in the call. When was it? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I think it's available on the YouTube channel if you want to watch. But I wrote up a summary of the discussion there, and the key to that discussion was that the placement request is so the concern that that was brought up was whether a placement decision makes sense without having a placement cap, and the important part to understand from that discussion is that in this cap, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but in this cap, the notion of a placement request is just the key. You don't need to know what a placement is to understand placement decision. The cap only promises that the scheduler will produce a decision with a key, and the workload will also have that key. So for rollout tools that answer the question, which decision should I apply to this workload I want to deploy? Yeah, and Mike, as you've clarified too in the cap itself, you still need the components involved still need workload-specific knowledge, but they don't need knowledge of each other, and that's the aim of this particular cap. So yeah, so thanks for all the reworking, Mike, and I'll review that again. And yeah, other interested parties, I see Josh here in the call now. Please feel free to chime in on the PR as well. And I'll sit down with Jeremy and figure out, well, take a look at it again properly at KubeCon.
Yep, thank you so much. And yeah, the one that I mentioned is the placement delegation, and I think it was Arthur that mentioned that it's nice to have a API, central API that others can reference, multiple other consumers can reference. Thank you again, Stephen.
Yep. Well, thank you. Right, and let me take a look at the agenda again. So that's, I think, yeah, that's the end of the scrub. So if anybody has anything to discuss, feel free to chime in now. Otherwise, we can end early. There's go for it.
The credential one. Thank you for merging the name change. But we have this say, what is that? Let me check the other
5559.
Yeah.
Clusters the auth info field.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone has took a look at that one.
Well, yeah, there's a bunch of, so Cornton reviewed it.
Okay, yeah, I saw Cornton's, but we did add example there and the same. And,
all right, okay. Because I don't see any changes since I asked for one.
So there is a corresponding. Let me see. Yeah, corresponding PR. So this PR is. I think this is probably. This is the example how we use these field. Actually, yeah, we kind of will talk about that next week in the talk.
KubeCon, you mentioned
because this is how, and that example shows why we need to add these fields, because only the cluster manager know these fields. The plugin needs these fields, and the manager knows the plugin itself. The client doesn't know. So the manager needs to put these information in the cluster profile accessor. And then when the client comes, then they can create the real token request, basically.
Okay, right. Yeah, I hadn't made the connection. I'll just add a comment. Okay. I'll take a look at that then.
Yeah, just bring this
yeah.
up.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yep. And Nick, I see your membership request went through, so you're all good for Sunday, I think.
Indeed, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, on that note,
actually, I am curious
yep.
with anyone on this call who is gonna who do I get to see in my hometown in a couple of days? And does anybody have any questions about Atlanta? Because this is you're coming to where I live. Not my hometown. I'm a New Yorker, but I've been here for 20 years. So
yeah, your adopted hometown.
Mm-hmm.
No? Well, I'm coming.
Okay. I will give one piece of advice to anyone who's flying internationally. Do not try to use our subway to get from the airport to downtown or midtown or wherever it is you're staying. Because when you come through international in Atlanta, you end up going through customs. Bag check is on the other side of the airport. And the train station to get to Atlanta is on domestic side. So you have to go through all that, then take a bus to the domestic side, then jump on the train. It's just not worth it, to be honest. But if you're flying domestic, absolutely just go jump on the MARTA. It'll get you there safe. It's easy.
Will it get us to the hotel, the convention center, the subway?
Yeah. Okay. It goes north-south. And you're going to want to get off at the downtown stop, and you'll be within, 5-minute walk, I think, of the convention center. And the same with Midtown. If you're going to Midtown, you can get off at the next stop.
Center.
If you're going east-west, if you're veering off of east-west of that north-south line, you're out of luck because Atlanta just doesn't really do. We don't have a great transit system, to be honest, and the trains just go kind of north-south. But you could always go to Midtown and then from there take an Uber to go if you're staying in like West Midtown or somewhere else. That's also an option. But again, if you're flying international, I'm telling you, just don't do it. It's happened to me so many times because one of the tricks, and I know I'm holding the meeting, but one of the tricks with the Atlanta airport, if you're not checking luggage, is if you're flying out, just always go to international airport as long as you're flying, I think, Delta and a couple other airlines, just because the lines are so much smaller. But when you do that, if you park your car on that side and you do check a bag, then you have to do that whole dance I was just talking about, and it's not awesome. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you all. Hopefully we'll do something. Maybe we'll get some hangs in at this summit and thereafter.
Yep.
Cool. See you next week.
Yeah. And see everybody else in 2 weeks' time. Well, if you're not on the Thursday call, in 2 weeks' time, because next week's call is cancelled because of KubeCon.
Are you not coming?
Oh, I'm coming, but we're not having this call.
Okay. Okay. All right. See you soon. Later.
Yep. Bye.